Good afternoon, El Paso. It is Edgar Aguero with the team, Jackie Stevens Home Show podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Wanted to first and foremost just tell you we're doing things a little bit different today. As you can see, I don't have my beautiful other side next to me. It's going to be me. You get me. Do not adjust your screens. I did shave. Look at this. New look, new man. But guess what, guys? We're here still doing business, and we want to talk real estate 101 with you today. So if you have any questions that you guys may want to share that you would like for Jackie and I, today you get the privilege of just getting me to answer those questions thoroughly and in our best of our ability. Again, as I stated in our pre-show, if I don't have an answer for you, I will find one. Okay, so challenge me. I want to definitely make this a good, productive show here for you guys, and make sure I do answer some questions. So one of the things that I want to first congratulate and really wish all our great realtors that are out there just really, really working hard and making sure they are helping their buyers or their sellers with either the purchase or the sale of their home. They're doing a wonderful thing here and helping them grow their, be able to sell their home, liquidate that asset, or simply finding the great American dream, which is home ownership. And everybody's doing a fantastic job. Our El Paso market is hot, it's on fire, and it's really an exciting time for everyone out there, including our buyers. And I want to use that as a little bit of a segue for the reason being, guys, let's talk about the buying process. I think it's very, very important to kind of dissect that a little bit. And I say that myself just for the reason being, we get to see this on a daily basis. We talk about homes, what your payment is, what's your escrow going to be, what's an inspection cost, what's all of this that entails in buying a home. And I think we sometimes tend to forget how important it is to really, really break it down to the basics, right? What is the basics? What do our buyers need to know when they're going to buy a home? Because I think we all get the call saying, hey, I saw this great home that you listed on your Facebook. It's amazing. I want to go look at it. Oh my God, it's my dream home, right? We get it. It's amazing. And we want to help you. But the first thing that we need to really sit down is do two things, and that's going to make a call and get you with a lender. It's not because we want to know, do you qualify? But guess what? We do, but not for us, for your sake, because you want to know how much am I really qualified for? But most importantly, guys, what is my monthly payment going to look like, right? Because everybody thinks I can afford this, I can afford trips because I'm married to a monthly payment. We definitely don't want you doing that, because then you're probably going to hate us, right? You're going to be like, hey, you got me into this home and now I can't even afford it. So we want to talk about those little things, right? And so again, this past week, we want to make sure that we emphasize on those little things to help out our buyer, because at the end of the day, when we bring, it's not just going and putting an offer and doing this and then saying, hey, you know what, I didn't really think about what my process of my payment's going to look like now that you gave me my taxes. And really, this is stuff that should have been done from the very beginning. So key thing to realtors and lenders, I think we sometimes get too busy, especially in today's time, because we have so much stuff going on, like to get into a real basic conversation as to what our monthly payment's going to be, what does it include, why it's this and that. Seems a little extra, but I think it's very important that we don't lose focus. Don't let the commotion and we have multiple offers. We need to get this home in because we need to win it and all that good stuff, without knowing what that payment scenario is going to look like. Because if we now have to go up, say an extra 5,000 to 10,000. If you made yourself a commitment that I am not going to go above 1150 or 1250, guess what? Your payment's going to go up. Your payment's definitely going to go up. So let's have that conversation knocked out from the very beginning and say, look, this is payment scenario 1, which is my dream. This is where I want to stay in my comfort zone. Now, if I really, really want this home, I had to go into multiple offers. I had to win it. I had to go above and beyond. I'm still comfortable with that payment because there's no fun in us having to go that we can get back, right? So we want to make sure we focus on that. Again, so lenders, realtors, let's do a better job of being able to have that conversation, really narrow it down, because instead of looking at homes that are, say, for example, 150, and we really need to be more in the 130, 120 range, then let's go ahead and do that. Let's have that conversation so that there's no shortcuts or little things missed out there. So I just thought I'd start off the show with a little bit of that importance in there. Not only how much do you qualify in terms of the sales price, but more importantly, folks, let's go ahead and know what our monthly payment is, what's the interest going to look like with my taxes included, and insurance. And so one thing that we got, and I'm going to be clicking back for some questions, comments, because we want to make this fun. I don't want to get here. I'm not an instructor. I don't want to tell you that it's Edgar's way and you guys need to do it this way, because we're not. We all learn from each other. But if you guys do have any questions, comments, I definitely welcome those, and I want to answer them. We did get some pre questions from before, so I'll be addressing and answering those on there, and kind of give you guys a little bit of some 411 basic stuff. The other questions that we did get on here, and I'll share that with you. We'll make it fun, because we definitely don't just want to be talking real estate and what it is. But again, so one thing that I wanted to focus that you're seeing a lot out there, guys, is realtor etiquette, right? We want to make sure that when we're working out there, guys, we don't forget what our main goal is, and that is to find a common goal, which is to help a seller and help a buyer complete a transaction, right? One's selling, one's buying. And I think sometimes there's realtors that we've kind of forgotten that, and have made this a little bit more challenging, a little bit more difficult, not only in the transaction period, but just it's not fun, because now we kind of take it back out on the buyers. We take it out on the seller for not having their home ready to show or whatever it is. And I think the reality of it is, let's not let our egos get in the way, and let's make a deal work, right? I think it makes sense, and that's what one of our very highly respected real estate agents saying. Can we get our agents just to work with one another to make this deal work? There's no need, and I'm not going to say it's newer agents versus older agents. I think it's just a matter of us understanding each other, re-educating ourselves, because it's a different market. If you would have told me what the market looks like today versus, say, 7 or 8 months, big different markets. We were about to go into kind of a chip change at the beginning of the year, and I think we noticed it the most, and we've talked about it with our team, and I've talked with some other great agents here in El Paso. Interest rates were eclipsing, getting close to that high, 4.7, almost a 5% interest rate, right? So people tend to forget what that means. And I can always go into further detail onto what that's going to possibly look at. Now, when we look at this, it's going to be very, very important that we do not lose focus on what that really looks like. So once again, the key, very important things for us to go ahead and do is keep the process going. Let's help each other win these great deals together, and hold each other accountable to working with one another. And like I said, some of these young real estate agents, great minds. I mean, think about it. What they're doing right now, it is fantastic. Kind of leads us also with like our millennial group, which we just read an article and a great show, by the way. I'll hopefully I can try to link and share that link with you guys, because I think it's pretty cool. It talks about how millennials, different brand, right? And I have some kiddos, so I know how different it is to communicate with them than how our parents communicated with us. And that was just simply when they would share little things and say, what's the one that came out recently, which I thought was super, super funny? The whole timeout thing, right? That's a cute thing that our little era, people said, hey, when my kid misbehaves, you're going on timeout. If you grew up in the time that I did, that timeout did not come out like that. I can't really, well, I could say it, but I don't want to say it here. What my dad really would tell me if I misbehave, right? But what I'm getting at is participation trophies, stuff like that we all kind of share to make everything even kill kind of life. And that's not really what it is. What you want to do is really get into the nitty gritty type deal. And some of these agents, they're very smart, very brilliant, but you got to kind of share little things with them on how business etiquette truly works and how it's always been done. Now, it's not bad to use their new innovative ways, social media, the way they've taken that on and have taught us old fogies how to use TikTok, how to use, Instagram and different platforms that are out there right now, which I think is fantastic. Definitely challenges us to do some different things. But even so on the buyer side, right? I think that's the group that's kind of, it's the low-hanging fruit, but a group that can really make a difference for you if you really understand how they operate, how they function, and how they obtain and take information, right? They kind of work things a little backwards, and we don't like it because we're so, creatures of habit. We create ways to help our business grow, but we also got to understand how they operate. So just a little tidbit. I think it's great for us to be able to share that with you, to get into knowing how the millennial group kind of functions and operates. And that's not only real estate, but also on the lending side of things, is just teaching them the basic things. Because one thing I was talking earlier with our team is there's still a lot of people that says, you know what, why am I going to get a home? I'm renting. I live in a great apartment. Something messes up, it's not working. I can call the maintenance group and they'll come and take care of my grass or whatever it is, right? I don't even know what apartments make you do or not do or come and change. But that being said, it's a good thing for us to sit down and have that one-on-one conversation, because they've never heard this, right? It's like when you're in out the other, you just want to tell them. A lot of people still think out there, it's basic as one-on-one as it's going to get, that you need 20% down on every single transaction when it comes to buying a home. It helps. 20%, if you have it, you want to use it, definitely. But now you have FHA programs, right? Like minimum 3.5% of the sales price. And if that can help you, that's fantastic. You have down payment assistance programs right now that can help you with your down payment, which is pretty cool. You don't know about it because we don't always share all that good stuff. You guys just see the homes that get posted and sold and say one day. Don't lose that dream. Don't lose that focus. And more importantly, if you need to talk about it with somebody, guess what? Edgar and Jackie in our group are here to talk to you about it. All you gotta do is pick up the phone, call 915-857-HOME, and we will be able to answer any of those questions for you thoroughly, and one of our team members will be more than happy to help you out. Jackie and I are here to answer any questions. So if you're even thinking about selling a home, looking to sell a home, or just simply want to invest and kind of get into it, we have those conversations all the time, and we'll go from there. Some other questions here that we might have gotten. I'm getting some help here from my people. Give me a second. Another question here. So how are we dealing right now with multiple offer situation? Man, that's a good question. One thing that I can tell you guys, it's been fun. It's been crazy. It's been having to be a little bit creative, having to step out of what we've always known, right? So one of the biggest things when you're buying a home is, for a very, very long time, us realtors created a situation where a buyer's buying a home. Okay, so you're responsible for having your down payment. Okay, that's one thing. They've always assumed that it is okay to go ahead and always ask for the closing costs because the seller has to give it. Well, guess what? I'm working with a seller. My seller says I do not need to give the closing costs, because those closing costs are their responsibility. And guess what, guys? If we're doing our job in educating our buyers, that is absolutely 100%. It's not necessarily the seller's job, or they're not, it's not mandatory for them to have to help you with closing costs. Now, if it is a great offer and you're needing some assistance with closing costs to help us make that deal work, then yeah, we can go ahead and ask the seller, and that could happen, and that could be a good deal. But in today's world, with multiple offers being displayed, guess what? Those closing costs are mainly coming out of our own buyers' pockets right now, which is a big change because it's a shift. It's a shift within a shift that's going on now in a lot of other places, even as close as New Mexico. And I know this because my wife's also licensed in New Mexico, and she tells me about it. Everybody handles their own closing costs, and it's a deal. And it sounds great, sounds fair, and I think that's the way it kind of should be. But we've done this, and if we can help out a buyer obtain their home because they gave a great offer and the seller was willing to negotiate with them because their also mission is to make, and it takes two agents, takes two time. I said it earlier this morning too, it's a teamwork environment. It's a teamwork activity that needs to happen in order for this deal to go through. If we put our egos and we want to bump elbows, well, my buyer, sometimes we get caught in conversations where I'm like, well, did we even ask our seller if they were okay with that, or their buyer? Is your buyer okay with making that negotiation? Because it sounds like it's a me and you thing, and it shouldn't be. So again, I just want to make sure we point that out there for you. But again, going back to the main question here is how can we do it? There's been a lot of different ways, guys. I don't know what all is winning. I don't know what's losing. But what I will tell you is that we're having to get creative. Point taken. Here recently, we lost a deal because of a photo, a photo that we couldn't put out there because we couldn't see the home. But because the pictures did a really good job on this home, we went ahead and placed an offer for our buyer. But when it came down to, we couldn't personalize it. We couldn't do this because we couldn't even see the home. So just little things like that, guys. If we can help out, let us know. We can talk it out a little further in a one-off, which is a really, really good thing. So how to win offers. The best thing is just continue to always think about our buyer. Do you know what I mean? It's not about just, hey, let's go win this offer and let's get it up there in a price point that they're not going to be able to afford, right? Because now it's wasted time, guys. You went in there, you put all your marbles, and you put on a great show. You took that great photo and shared it, all that good stuff. But guess what? If you don't have it, and now the buyer says, hey, man, well, now because we had to go up, my payment is now going to be, $75 to $80 more. Man, it puts me in a tough bind. I'm going to have to pull out. Well, guess what? Those are some of the questions we should have had from the get-go here with our buyer to let them know the difference, what they're going to look at, and what's potentially at risk, right? Because even some of these offers, right, they're going with no option periods, right? Which is a little different because we've always at least asked for your 7-10 day option period. Now they're just saying, hey, the house looks great, which is kind of risky, but guess what? That's the market we're in. We all got to play it, and we all going to just continue to go through it. It's not the only way to do it. Everybody, again, realtors, think about your seller and think about your buyer. What's the best thing for them to do? What else do we got here, Michelle?
Let me check.
So and then from our team as well, one thing that I wanted to share from the with this whole, and it's going to be a little spin, but like I said, man, this is a freestyle. We're doing it all today. One thing that we are for our clients, one thing that me and Jackie have not been able to truly do is share our gratitude and our special thank you. So I wanted to kind of take a little bit of this time to share that with you guys as well. How honored we are. I don't think we tell you guys enough. Thank you for your continuous support, whether it comes in terms of doing a transaction for you, a transaction for one of your loved ones, and those continuous referrals that you guys send to us. Those mean the world to us. So the only way that me and Jackie and our team have always put is we have these great appreciation, events, which we want to invite you, want you to be a part of that. And right now with this whole COVID thing, it's just been, kind of a unfortunate thing because we're really looking forward to that. We're trying to work something that allows us to keep our social distance. You guys can kind of come in, join us, pick up something kind of real quick, yada da, and just to again give you our thank you, guys. So please stay tuned on that. I'll give you guys a little bit more details, as well as our business partners and everything on what is going. So one of the questions, so I'll get back to the question. I just want to say thank you again, guys, before I forget, because I know that we have some more questions coming in. So a seller's market right now, right? Everybody, because of the interest rates that are going on, at this point, it's fantastic. Because what does that mean? It allows you to get a low payment. It allows you to get more home, because in 6, 7, 8 months, we don't know what entails, right? Right now, the interest rates are simply super historically low, right? You look at one, what low as 2.5% with certain VAs. You see 2.75s, low threes. I mean, these are some amazing rates, and you won't see these again. So come 7 months, and who knows, maybe even sooner, those rates, if those rates change, now all of a sudden your buying power is what we call it. Really, that's what your qualification is, may decrease, meaning that you may get a little lesser home because of what you're qualified for now. So, if you're on the fence, you're a buyer and you want to buy, right now is the time to look. It's really the time. But that creates the seller's market, because now the seller's market means, hey, I can list my home today. And if I price accordingly, if I price right, I'm going to have some qualified buyers out there ready to buy my home. So that is a very, very exciting time for everyone, because it allows for business to continue. Sellers want to sell. They're going to maximize their money. Right now, for the first time in a very long time, they're not having to pay any additional closing costs or anything like that. People are paying a little bit over asking price, or even a way above asking price in some cases, because they really love the home. They do not want to lose it. And again, just keep in mind though, on the seller side, so let's not get crazy, it still has to appraise. So there's a lot of little different factors into it. But again, that's why you still need us, realtor professionals, to be able to assist you in saying, look, I understand you want this much for the home. Your home is lovely. It probably is that, if not more. Now, don't shortchange yourself, but also we can overput it, because then all of a sudden you get in a situation where it doesn't appraise. Then we have to come back to the drawing board. It creates another process. People can get a little, man, we thought we were going to close. Now we're doing this. Well, it's a lot of little different components. They're moving parts. It's real estate. It's fun. It's not easy, folks, but we're here to help you and go through those processes one by one. Great question, by the way. Should I order a home inspection? Wow. Okay. So again, very important, guys, especially right now with the continuous, offers going in and such, that should I even do an inspection? The house looks great. This is now. Well, guess what, guys? I personally would always recommend that you do a home inspection. Why? Well, even if it's one where like if you get one of these no option periods, right? So you're basically stating that my home inspection is not dependent on, or what my decision is going to be is not dependent on my home inspection. But I'm going to tell you, you still want to have one, because you want to know what home you're going to see yourself, or what you're going to purchase, what you're going to invest. Especially if you're going to live in this home, you want to know what that roof looks like. You want to know, is this home's foundation sound? Am I going to have issues, water leaks, any of that sort? Plumbing, very important to have a professional Texas certified inspector go in there and check your home. Termites, simple as termites. Does the home have termite? You want to have those inspections being done fully completely. So yes, very good question, but you should always definitely have a home inspection. I get this question asked a little bit more on the newer home. Hey, but this home is brand new. I don't understand why I need to pay, $180 to $220. I think we'll be okay. I still have my warranties. Yes, you do have the warranties, right? And all the great builders here in El Paso have those warranties, and they have them because they want you to 100% feel comfortable. And to their credit, they back their product 100%, which is amazing. However, these homes are made by humans, guys. So you want to make sure that you touch on everything, whether it's a new home, if it's a resale home, or an older home. You want to make sure you check the key components of the home. And I've always said it, it's your roof, your foundation, your HVAC, heating system, your electrical, plumbing. Those are the key ones that I can tell you. You definitely want to get into that so that your home is absolutely 100% good to go. What is the reason why some houses don't sell? Very good question. And, obviously if we had the answer for everything, it'd be wonderful. But one of the biggest things you want to look at the home is And right now, and I think more so than ever in today's world, if you put a house on the market and it's not selling, it's going to be really one reason only. It's not priced accordingly. And when pricing comes into an effect, then that's when your home is going to sit. It's going to stay. So you want to look at a lot of different things, and all of our realtor counterparts can tell you their style or their position on how they particularly see that stay versus this one. And the reality is pricing accordingly, pricing right. I would say right on the kiss. It's going to allow you to really know, and within 2 weeks, you'll know where your home stands in the price point area. And that's always going to be a key thing. That like 2 weeks, I'm like, yes, ma'am. They're like, well, I don't care. I'm not in a rush. And all that means is that your home is depreciating day by day in terms of what you think you can sell your home for. So it's very important. But your first step really is going to be getting a real estate professional, a listing agent. Okay, very different from a buyer's agent, because a buyer's agent is going to tell you what's good for them and their buyer. You want to get in contact with a great listing agent, and I can actually tell you a very good one. Jackie Stevens is an awesome listing agent. She'll be able to give you a full evaluation of your home, where it stands, how it's compared to the other homes there in the area, and what is the most money that you can get in the least amount of time. So very key things, very good questions so far. I like those. Hopefully we're tackling some on. Like I said, it's the basic one-on-one, because I really want our viewers to understand the basics of it. It's not hard. It's not science, and it shouldn't be. So us agents sometimes I think make it a lot harder than it really is. Just keep it simple, and I think we get great results. What is the difference between being pre-qualified and pre-approved for a loan? Very important right now. And it's kind of funny, because all these questions that are being thrown at us have to do with today's situation, okay? Because and I'm going to flip it around a little bit. We've gotten some offers that come in, and the home we know is we did our analysis. In some instances, the sellers have even gone to a point where they've done a appraisal, so they want to know where their home is at. So we know what the home is worth, and they'll come in and offer anywhere between $20,000-$30,000 over asking price. And people will be like, "Are you kidding me?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's going." Why? Because they want to win that offer. They want to win that offer, and so they put it all together. Now back to the question. Let me so that I can address it directly here. So when you submit your offer, a lot of banks are going to say, here's your pre-qualification, meaning they ran your credit, or based on what you told them, right? That can be over the phone or an application, and they're going to give you you do qualify, you have your credit, blah, blah, blah. This is what we're looking at. But we still need to verify that everything you've told us is accurate. Now, the question is, what is it that they need to verify? Well, income's pretty important, right? So they're going to need some bank statements. Your taxes for the last 2 years, pretty important stuff. You need to submit that. Have they submitted, do they still have a job? Very important, because a lot of people, hey, well, what kind of job do they have? Hey, I just started a new one, but I've been working for the last 5 years. Well, that's great. But it says here you were a manager at Kmart. Now you're working at a restaurant. And that'll be a lender's expert. That's not me yet. So I want to make sure that did I lay out something? No, I didn't. But you want to go ahead and say, we'll leave that to that lender to tell you, do you qualify? Yes. Is this job good enough? Absolutely. Okay, then we're good. So very good question. On a pre-approval, that's already been done, right? That's already been done. And we do work with a lot of great lenders. So if you have questions, you're like, I don't know who to go and obtain a loan with, give us a call. The number's scrolling right there in the bottom, where it'll tell you, who we should talk to. And Jackie and I, or one of our team members, is going to tell you, hey, you need to go visit so-and-so, so they can give you that pre-approval, because that's big, especially in today's world where we're sending these offers. You want to know that all that's already been verified. They're happy with their payment. They're happy with all that's already done. So really, it is a clean file. So we get these calls, and Michelle's here. So we've had these discussions earlier today. We get the calls and say, "Hey, this is a great file. Please accept our offer." Well, okay, that I appreciate that. But then when we get it's a pre-qualification, and so if we look at those two things, we will let the seller know and say, "Hey, look, we got a great offer. This is what they're offering us. This is what it is. Difference is this is a pre-qualification and this is a pre-approval." Which is more strong when I do hand by hand, apples to apples, right? We're going to go with the pre-approval. So great question, and hopefully I answered that in the right way for you there. But definitely a pre-approval, a much better option. What is a counteroffer? A counteroffer really is something that should be very open to everybody, right? Again, realtors will kind of take offense to certain offers that come in, and they want to counteroffer themselves. Well, guess what? It's called a negotiation table for a reason, not just because the house is listed at this price. Do I think it's worth that? And you're starting to see that even in some of the higher price points. So one thing that this whole COVID-19 has brought us to in certain situations with the El Paso market, and I think really just nationwide, is they assume that, well, my house, because there's a lot of good buyers out there and they have great interest rates and everything, my house is worth more. Well, that's not necessarily the case, especially here in El Paso, just for the reason being we don't accumulate equity like that, right? It's a little bit different in every situation. Now, some homes do definitely have it, so you want to look at that, but not always the case. Some homes are just, the price is what it is. You're just going to get the home sold a lot quicker in today's world. Appraisers, obviously they're in a tough pickle, right? Because they got to look at certain situations. Like there's tons of people that are offering 10 to 20. I think we've even seen cases of 30,000 more on asking price, and now they have to go and justify it. Some of that math doesn't work, but very important. So you want to look at every little small piece of that. So, man, great questions.
Last question.
This is the last one. Okay. So why should I use a real estate agent? Very good question. And the reason why, guys, it's very simple. Look, you got to look at it from a lot of different things. We're just not here because we want to get you to a home and get paid and that's it, right? At the end of the day, there's a lot of process out there, and I'll always start with the seller, right? Because the seller sometimes looks at it like, hey, I want to sell my home. Then when you have your sit down with them and you say, look, this is what entails. This is what it's going to take for us to be able to sell your home for max money, yada, yada, yada. And you share what everybody wants, right? Let's not sugarcoat it. It's commissions. Okay, so why are you charging this much? So-and-so told me they can do it for this. Then you may want to go with that other person for that commission if that's what you're fighting. If you're wanting your home sold, if you're wanting your process done, this is what it's going to take for our team to be able to sell this home. Very, very important. Now, why do you want to use a real estate agent that's good, strong, and sound? Very important because you want somebody that's going to negotiate on your best behalf. If you're already asking me from the very beginning to negotiate my commission, and I just say, oh, okay, yeah, no, it's okay. I'll go ahead and lower it right away. Guess what I'm telling you, basically? That's how I'm going to negotiate for you when it comes to somebody putting an offer for your home. So very important. What we do is very key. We look at everything. We continuously with continuous education, very important for us to do so because the market changes and it shifts. Like right now with COVID, I mean, it's insane, guys. I don't know how to say it in a different way, how much it's changed. And it's going to change again. And it may not be for the betterment of what we do. And it's going to require a strong agent to be able to overcome that, shift, and handle that change. In football, if you all my sports people out there, it's called sudden change. What do you do now? Do you just all of a sudden say, well, I can't sell homes anymore because, the interest rates are so high? They went to 3.5%. You're like, what? High? That's still very, very good, So just a thought there. And on the buyer's agent, you want somebody that knows where your home is going to be, not someone that's going to set you up to fail. The worst thing is for you to get so close to purchasing your home, and because of a little thing that your realtor failed to mention or failed to stress or anything like that to you, it changes those things. So very important. Do your research. I know you see the postings on Facebook. I know you see the great homes that are going on. You see what they're driving or whatever the case may be. It's a little bit more than that. Talk to your people. You have a connection, right? We interview you. You interview us. We interview you. If it's a good connection, a good team, trust me, that's what at the end of the day, that's what gets a home sold. It's the great team environment from the seller, buyer, your agent, the lender, even your closer guys. All those guys got to be in a team. We have a really good team. I want to tell you straight up, we kick ass. Our team really kicked ass, and I'm not just talking about our Jackie Stevens group. I'm talking about our lenders. They do a phenomenal job of setting you up with some great, amazing rates. They set you up understanding what the process is. We're going to take you a step further when it comes to closing, and it's very, very crucial. I know we had, Prosperous Title, who definitely is a great, great title company. You have Texas Title that does a lot of stuff with the team Jackie Stevens, and I can tell you both of them are just phenomenal group and partners that we have because they know what we intel and what our clients expect. So very, very important to surround yourself with that group. Insurance, very, very, homeowners insurance. It's very competitive out there, very, very crucial. Get your a couple of quotes, challenge them to give you the best deal, and better yet, not even so much the deal, it's just the coverage. And they know what's going to affect you, what's not going to affect you when you come in and buying your home. So again, guys, all these are great questions that we had today. So thank you, audience. Thank you, Michelle, for getting those up for me. I'm trying to just wiggle and wiggle with everything. It's been fun. This is where everybody goes, hey, how do you deal with Jackie? Like stuff like that, man. I need her right here on the side so she can be punching the things over here. But that's how we complement each other. And just, again, just on a personal note for our group, guys, we want to thank you once again for joining us on these podcasts. It's a lot of fun because we are able to talk not only with us. It's kind of, again, I'm a football guy, so I always reference it, right? Preseason, you have teams that are just continuously battling each other and they get into these fights because that's all they do. They see each other, right? These podcasts has allowed us to be able to talk with other great business-minded people that just see the bigger picture. It's not just real estate; it's just real life. One thing again with this COVID-19 here recently, I've just been hit with some real close friends. So it's personal, right? I always tell people nothing's ever serious until it hits your circle. And not that Jackie and I have not taken this serious or anything like that, because we have from day one. But when you hear it, you're like, oh man, it can happen to any of us. So just be safe out there, guys. We'll get through it. We're almost there, I think. I'm hoping. Just like everybody else, if we had all the answers for everything, I think we would have that for you. But we'll stick with that and be safe out there. We love you, and thank you once again for checking in on this podcast with yours truly, the less bearded one. But it will be back, and we'll go from there, guys. But if you have any questions, please don't hesitate. You guys can DM me. You guys can call us at 915-857-HOME. You guys can also follow us on Instagram. Ooh, that's a little old school, right? But anyhow, we're on there, bringing you life stories, life situations, and more importantly, guys, thank you so much for your referrals and your continuous business and support. Jackie Stevens is out.